Okay, so we're in my office, which pretty much looks like a train wreck because I'm still trying to get everything under control in here. But this is Tiny, my Monstera Deliciosa. This is the second one I have. It kind of looks bigger than it is. It's actually not really that big, but there's only the one fenestrated leaf on this entire plant, so I'm excited to see what happens when she gets her first really big leaf with fenestrations. Anyway, that's Tiny. This is my Mandarin spider plant that I got a few months ago. So far, so good. It's looking okay. I haven't really had too many issues with it. It sits there really quietly like my other spider plant and doesn't really do a whole heck of a lot. This is my Philodendron Salome. I can't even get the whole thing in the frame. This one I am rehabbing and will actually probably be part of my Help Me in My Plants series, because this one has been giving me some issues that I'm concerned about. Next to that one is my Monstera Sonia that I just put a better moss pole in. And when I put this moss pole in, I think it was last week, I don't even think it's been a week yet, 2 leaves have already shot up here past the pole. But yeah, she's pretty. Over here is my Domino Peace Lily. This one's really strange because all of my soil mixes are really airy, but for some reason, this one has ended up super compact, and I don't know why that is. But it doesn't seem to be affecting the plant at all. She never wilts. She's in a self-watering pot. She just sits there and just, again, looks pretty. I don't know if she's getting enough light though, but we'll see. Over here on my super messy desk, which is usually where my computer is and is not at the moment, I've got my propagated Philodendron Brazil that I'm actually experimenting with. Over here is my Gloriosum, which I just recently did a video on. The leaf is turning just like I thought it would, and it's not looking too bad. And the spots have stopped like getting larger. I don't know if that means anything, but that makes me happy. Over here, my one and only Anthurium, my Anthurium pedatum, looks pretty happy since it's been in that pot. The humidity in this room is usually between 65 to 75 without a humidifier. I have noticed though that in some cases some of my plants are not actually liking that, and we'll get to that after. Here is my red emerald that I took the advice of everybody's, and I did not chop it and prop it. I just left her as is. She's super quirky, and but she seems really healthy and happy and just loving being there. So I mean, what more could I ask for, except that she grows in a pattern which isn't so weird. But that's part of her personality and what makes me love her. Over here in this little disaster area, my purple Oxalis, which what I'm referring to this year as Thripsgate 2020, this one actually got one of the worst. It's probably been the longest, the plant that I've been treating the longest, I have to say. Because I don't know, I hate them. I hate thrips. They're just completely devastating. I am lucky that I actually have not lost any plants yet. But they are, when those little buggers lay their eggs in the leaves and then you don't even know they hatch until one day you're looking at your plant and you're like, wait, that doesn't look right. and then you see them. I'm not seeing adults, so I'm assuming that when I started the whole process, that I got rid of the adults, but it was too late after they laid the eggs. So again, that'll be a totally different video. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see my Thripscape 2020 posts. Anyway, I digress. Off we go. I think this was cutting number 1 of my Hoya Vitellina. It's doing amazingly well. I'm surprised after it got all puffy. This is my Hoya Carnosa Silver Speck. This plant I got in, where did I get it? Etsy. I think it was an Etsy. Yes, it was. I got it from an Etsy seller. And it's given me these 3 leaves here since I put it in soil, because it was an unrooted cutting and I had to root it, but it seems to be super happy now. This is Crimson Queen number 2, who seems to be loving it over here and just growing like incredibly well, which surprises me because, oh, I can't even say that. It's the princess I have trouble with, not the queens. And she is reaching over here to touch my propagated Thai Sunrise, which I don't think is going to have any more sunrise. Stay still. I don't know what happened to this leaf. It was fine when it unfurled. I have no idea what that is. I've checked it for thrips. There's nothing there. There's actually, aside from the purple Oxalis, no other plants in this room have had thrips. So I'm hoping that that's all over with, at least for these plants. Anyway, the damage does not look like thrip damage. I don't know what is going on here, but I know it's not a pest issue. And all of the other leaves are fine, but this is the newest leaf, and I find that those little craptacular bastards like the new leaves, and that's not anything. Okay. Here is, I think this is cutting number 3 from my Vitellina. I think that I'm going, because I just have too many at this point, I'm probably going to give a couple of them away. I'm gonna let them grow a little bit more, see what happens. But yeah, I don't need 5 of them at all. This here is my little lipstick plant. It was also from an Etsy seller. It was a gift, a free gift. Honestly, I can't remember what it was that I got with this, but it was an unrooted cutting, maybe 6 leaves on it, and it's grown this much already. And I'm not a big lipstick plant person, and out of the 3 that I have, this is the only one that is actually doing something for me. Here I have my begonias. Now these are actually outdoor begonias. I bought a bunch to plant in my garden outside, and then decided that these 3 left over I was going to bring in the house. And all of them have different blooms. So this one blooms red, this one down here blooms pink, and this one, when it blooms, will be white. They're still in the nursery pots I put them in. I don't have any plans on changing them, but the ones outside have gone absolutely crazy. Over here, this little sad display. Don't mind my dirty windowsill. This is the babies from a bronze pilea that I gave to a friend. I wasn't really big on the plant, but I cut babies off of it, and it has taken them forever to grow. And if you're looking at the dusty stuff on the surface, that's diatomaceous earth that I put in there for fungus gnats and for the thrips, just in case, because I haven't had an issue here. Here's my Pilea crinkle, which is super dry right now, and I really have to water it, and that's why it looks so dramatically flat at the moment. Here, my Monstera Sonia, the wide form. I love this plant so much. I used to worry a bit about yellowing on the leaves, but I find that they kind of all have a bit of a yellow hue to them, so I assume that that's natural. Here's the newest leaf here on this one. This is also a new leaf. I have to pull off this dead leaf. But besides that, I mean, it's healthy. I'm probably gonna have to put it in a bigger pot. I don't have a bigger pot. It's just grown crazy. I even propagated it and gave a piece to a friend. And she's just... And it's funny because on camera, she looks bigger than she does in person to me. But she's still big. Okay, over here, sitting in a corner because I haven't really found a place to put her yet. Can I get you in the frame? Is my Epiprenum Pinatum. Whatever. I've had this one for a few months and it actually has not grown a stitch at all. I can feel right here that that is where the new leaf will come from, but I've got nothing from this plant yet. It's been moved a couple of times, and this actually seems to be the place that it's been the happiest so far. This is an east-facing window, so it gets no direct sunlight on this side that it's sitting on, but it does get bright indirect sunlight in the or bright indirect light in the morning, as it kind of dapples through the trees out there. But yeah, okay, moving on. My Florida Ghost, who also has done absolutely nothing for me the entire time I've had it. Nothing. But that's okay, because it still looks really healthy. I don't have any issues with it whatsoever. It's just sitting there looking cute. I can't wait though for it to pop out finally, one of those big white leaves, or little white leaves. It doesn't really matter, as long as it gives me a leaf sometime soon. Okay, now we are at my weird lighting feature that I'll move out of the way. Okay, so this is my black Cardinal number 1. There's another video that's going to be a story with that, but I call this one Curly. I'll also explain why in the video. Not this video, but the next video. But anyway, this is my black Cardinal. I wanted one for so long, and I finally got one. Since I transplanted it, it's not growing too much. I've had this little leaf down here unfurl. But besides that, it's pretty much just kind of been in a holding pattern, which is fine, while it acclimates. It's probably been maybe a month since I've had it, I think. Over here, my Philodendron Rush. The weird thing about this one is that it's like it opened up for some reason from when I first got it. I don't know if that's like what it's supposed to do, but it's healthy. No problems whatsoever. I just I don't know. But it's cute. Okay, over here. Ooh. This is Mo, my Imperial Red. I can't even get up high enough for this. But, yeah. She is doing well, except this spot right here, which actually has not gotten bigger. Thank goodness. I was hoping that it's not like blight or something like that, now that I've thrown it out into the universe. I hope not. But I can say that before I even thought about that, I had been touching this plant, you know, right around that area. And then I panicked when I started thinking about blight, checked all my plants, and none of them seemed to have this issue. Thank God. So I'm hoping that it is actually due to either the fact that it was underwatered. When I said that there were plants that don't take well to the high humidity, I'm thinking that that might be the issue with this one, because it wasn't a problem until I put a humidifier in this room. And I haven't been running the humidifier. I only run it on hot days when the humidity drops to maybe, 40, 45%. I'll throw the humidifier on. But at some point during the day, I don't know why this room, just the humidity in it just increases to the point where I have to come in and turn the humidifier off because it's just too high. But I do think it was a watering issue. I'm praying that it was a watering issue. But this leaf also has kind of a, if you can see that, it's a little harder because these leaves are so dark, but that's one of the things I love about this plant. But you can see the texture difference there. That as well has not seemed to have spread, and I think that the plant was too dry because once I watered it, that stopped happening. So, moving on, over here, my burgundy princess, the girl I didn't think I'd want, but I'm glad that I own. She just popped out this new leaf here. I'm very excited about it. Seems super happy. I love the red stems on this plant. I didn't think I wanted her, and I just saw her over and over again, and I decided to buy her. Took 2 months for her to get here, and I'm in love. Okay, so those are all of the plants in my office, and we're gonna move on to my bedroom, I think. Okay, over here on top of my snake tank, that's Lucian. His tank desperately needs to be cleaned. Is my red Maranta, who is just a crazy little diva. She came down with spider mites a little while back, so she's still recovering from that. But I pretty much just let her grow wherever the hell she wants to go. Over here, which was one of my wish list plants that I finally got, is my lemon lime Maranta, who also seems to be crazy up here. I don't know if it's just where they're placed, because now they are about 10-12 feet back from a west-facing window. So, yeah, they love it there. I've had no problems with them being there. They're awesome. Over here, another casualty of Thrips Gate 2020. One of the original ones that was infested with them. I haven't seen anything. I have now taken the precautions of not only the diatomaceous earth. I was using an alcohol and dish soap spray, and then I got to the point where I just went and got insecticidal soap, but now they are neem oiled. They are sprayed down every 4 to 7 days, and now I just treat every single plant with it just to make sure. But anyway, this is my Syngonium. I thought it was a white butterfly. I'm not exactly sure now. These leaves are just growing back. They're super tiny, but I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure. I mean, it might be. I mean, I want to say that this leaf makes me think it's a white butterfly, but all these little ones down here, I don't know. I have to cut these dead ones off. All right. Okay, my first plant in Leca, which is, I have no idea. Home Depot has got these on sale for $4, and this is what it says, Philodendron. The picture actually looks like an imperial red, but I don't know if that's what this is. I mean, it could be an imperial red, it could be a Rojo Congo. It's not a black cardinal, I know that much. But I have no idea what it is, so I'm gonna have to wait until it gets bigger and find out. But this is the first plant that I put in Leca. So it's acclimating right now, and we're gonna see how well it does. This is my pink Dalmatian Aglaonema lighting. There we go, so you can kind of see the pink. My daughter gave this to me. Excuse me. She works in a nursery, and she asked me if I had one. I said no, it's the only Aglaonema that I own, and so far I'm liking it. Okay, I just had a little bit of a coughing fit. We have now come over to the compact corner of my world. This is a west-facing window. Here is my Philodendron Domesticum, which I found out a couple of days ago also had thrips. So, not happy. This leaf was stuck for a while, and I didn't know why. I ended up helping it out. And when I peeked into the leaf, you could see the thrips larva. And I immediately sprayed everything down, insecticidal soap, followed it up with neem oil. I know a lot of people rinse the neem oil spray off of their plants. I don't. I leave it. I don't know if that's to be extra precautious, but I do. I leave it. Anyway, this is my Philodendron Domesticum. It came to me with 4, maybe 5 leaves, and it has just been a complete beast. Like, I can't even see the top of my phone to get this in the frame. Okay. And over here is my Burl Marks Variegated. This super happy girl, because she was sitting over here, she definitely got dosed. Everything got dosed, just because I need to make sure. But she's just been, I've only lost, since I got this plant, can't remember when, earlier this year, she's lost 2 leaves. The leaves that are coming in are still relatively small, so I've begun like a fertilization regimen with it that I'm hoping works. What else we got over here? This is my Philodendron No ID. Still seems happy. Like I said, taking precautions. Just want to make sure that nothing happens to it. This is the cutting that I took in, I think it was my first video, of a Persian shield. So far it's just growing away, happy as a clam. And if you notice that I'm speaking faster, it's because I have a lot of plants and I don't want to keep you here for too long. It's possible that I'll turn it into 2 parts. We'll see how far I get with this. This is my Philodendron Campy Eye, also called a Lynette. This plant is just, it took a while to actually start growing, but since it has, it's just been an amazing little grower. There's another little growth point right there. But yeah, it's just been an amazing grower. See the DE on the table here, just from, you know, me being a freak. Okay, over here is my, let's see if I can turn it around, my Syngonium Albo, who has just lost her damn mind. I actually cut and propagated this because it had reached the top of the pole, and that piece is actually right here, because all these little aerial roots just throwing them out all over the place, just, it feels to me like she just wants to be propagated, and I want a full plant, so that's what I'm gonna do. My mother plant, my Philadelphia, my Philodendron Thai Sunrise. You know, this was a bad time to have these lights like all over the place, but I like my night lights. So you can see where I cut it right here. I was trying to get the variegation back, and you know what? It didn't work. I am okay with the green leaves. It shut out these 4 leaves now. These 2 here and these 2. And you know what? I'm okay with it. It's fine. I would like to have this variegation, more of this variegation that I had on like the 2 prior leaves, and it's been in this window the entire time I've had it, so it can't be a light issue. So it's just simply the variegation in general. But you know, like I said, I'm okay with it. It's fine. It's fine. Over here, a little too close to the Thai Sunrise, is my Philodendron Silver Sword. This one as well kind of had a rough start when I got it. The first leaves that popped out got stuck, so there was this wonky one and this itty bitty wonky one over here. But so far, she's okay. I'm really paranoid about the leaves touching now, so I'm gonna have to fix that after. And next, here's the third. Oh. The third cutting of my Hoya, damn it, there we go. The third cutting of my Hoya Vitellina. The light has all of a sudden gotten really, really bad. That is cutting number 3. I think I just heard a bird hit my front window. That would be awful. Anyway, moving on. This leaf is massive and I love it, so I will definitely be keeping this one. Below it, the ZZ plant that I rescued from my daughter. She had it in her bathroom. She had watered it to the point where it only had one stalk and the rest of the plant died off. I took it home, I waited patiently, and look what's happening over here. This makes me so happy. You know how hard it is to not buy a full plant when you know that you've got like your one lone stalk that you've bonded with at home, and you don't want to, you know, discourage it. And look, it loves me. Here is my Monstera Sulta Picana. When I got this, it was one long cutting. I cut it into 3 pieces. One of the pieces died. The other two have been absolutely fabulous. See that new one coming out there. I don't know, it's a really fast grower. When did I get this? February. And once it kicked off and got rooted and stuff, it was just ready to go. And it's been nonstop ever since. Here is a cutting of my Hoya Bangta 3 spotted leaves. It's doing its thing. It's still alive, so that's a good thing. And the Bangta is probably my favorite Hoya that I own. And we'll get to that corner. There's a whole Hoya corner, I tell you. Over here is my Pilea depressa, which is still depressing, but it's still alive. And I just let it go. I don't see anything particularly new happening with this plant. Sure, it's got those tiny little leaves. I know I'm gonna... Oh, these little leaves down here, though, those ones are new. So, but look, you got so far to go. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with this. I'm so confused. I just let it sit there. It's alive. It seems happy. Over here is my Monstera Standaliana. Look at her. Oh, I actually just propagated her. That was tough for me to actually cut that piece off, but you know what? I did it. And something that I have found is that usually when the leaves curl, I put it in a pot. It wasn't a terracotta pot, and I put it in a plastic pot because it constantly needed to be watered, and the pot was also smaller. But what I have found now is that the leaves tend to curl at night for me. So I don't know if it's when the temperatures cool down or whatever, but yeah, the leaves curl, and then in the morning they'll be fine. So I don't know what is the deal with that. Over here, Black Cardinal number 3. Again, I will explain that later on as to why I have 3 Black Cardinals now. I can't even say anything else. Here's my Philodendron Moonlight. I do have a question. Are moonlights and rushes the same? From what I've seen, rushes, at least, I mean, it was little, so maybe a rush is like a baby moonlight. I don't know. The leaves are different. But I just got this one yesterday. Is that when my package came? When did my package come? Yesterday, I think. I didn't unbox it because I didn't unbox it. I don't know. Maybe because I wasn't particularly excited about it. The only thing in that package that I was excited about is finally, for the love of God, I got a Cebu Blue cutting. It was unrooted. It is now propagating in water. But again, for the amount of shipping, I had to order another plant, and the only other one that I saw that I would like and didn't have was this Philodendron Moonlight. So there she be. This is my green Maranta. I've had this for so many years I couldn't even tell you. It is the only Maranta that I own that dies back every winter, and then it comes through again every spring. This one had a problem. I don't even know what the pest problem was because I dosed it. I know it wasn't thrips. It could have been spider mites. They seem to like my Marantas, but it seems fine now. It's happy. It's closing up at night again. That was the trick that I found, is if your Marantas are staying pinned open, there is something wrong. Oh, puppy dog patrol is going off now. But yeah, so if your Marantas are pinned open, check them for pests or some kind of an issue, because there is something wrong. Over here, I also finally got one of my wish list plants, which another one I did not unbox. I think I'm going to have to do a haul video, is my Variegated Miranta. I was so excited. I got this from an Etsy seller, and it turned out that she lives in my town. So that was great. She just lives on the other side of town. She came and brought it over for me. I had actually, what did she have? I saw that she had a watermelon peperomia that I got for a friend. And when I saw that she had this, I had to order it too. And she dropped it off at my house. She just delivered it because she was maybe 10 minutes away from me. So that was great. I'm so happy to have it. It's still having a little trouble acclimating. It's lost a leaf, but that's okay. It also gave me a new leaf. We'll see how that goes. It is sitting in a self-watering pot. Do I have all of my Marantas in self-watering pots? No. 2 are in self-watering pots. This one, and the other 2 are not. Okay, over here, another plant that I have in Leca because I'm actually trying to rehab it. I've had this little lipstick plant since probably November. It was bigger, it died back. When I took it out of the soil before I put it in Leca, the root system is pretty much non-existent, so I'm hoping that the Leca helps that. It's been about a week, maybe 10 days, and it's still alive. That's all I can say. It's still alive. Here is my pink Syngonium. Honestly, I don't know which one it is. I've had this plant for years. We've had issues. There was a little bit of neglect going on my part. I've mentioned that before. But now she is growing like crazy, so this makes me happy. And over here are my Syngonium Marie. Another plant that I had for years, but this is only a cutting because I had taken the mother plant to my office, and due to COVID, that plant is probably dead now. We didn't know we were going to be gone as long as we were, and I'm sure that and my Rex begonia that I probably had for about 5-6 years is also dead. But this is my Syngonium Marie, and she's actually looking pretty happy over here. Okay, up here, which I did do an unboxing of, is my Diskidia Ovata. We're still trying to learn about each other. As you can see, that dried little twig branch there didn't make it, but so far the rest of the plant is okay, so I just put it in this little hanging basket, or what are these called? Why do I not remember what this is called now? Macrame hanger, that's it. And hopefully it likes it there. Over here, I've got another little Brazil propagation where the rest of it died off. I don't know why these few little leaves are being so good to me, but they are, and I love them for it. This is my Philodendron Mykins, which has grown so much since I got it. I did get it as a cutting from an Etsy seller who did actually turn out to be in Vancouver. And so I got it in one day. It was like just a little handful, and now it's trailing. It's trailing over on the other side, and she is loving life. All right, we are almost done this room. Over here, and you'll probably see a lot of dust because I hate to dust, and I know I should, and I probably will after this now that I'm looking at all of it. This is my Sanzavaria, forever Sanzavaria to me. Serpentine Francisci. I got this in a nursery in my town. Even the plant buyer did not know what kind of plant this was, but I bought it and I found out, and it's awesome. It doesn't do too much. The longest tip here, that just actually kind of shot out of nowhere, I don't know, and it's got a new little one growing in there, so that's perfect. This was the very first Sanzavaria I ever owned, and it is my Moonshine. When I got it, these two babies were not here. They popped in over winter actually, and have just kept on growing. This one here, this Sanzavaria, I got from a friend. It was funny because she didn't know what it was, but she brought it to me. And this one now, after finally rooting, it took forever to root, has got not one, but two now growing from the center there. I don't know if that's a thing, but it sits on top of, oh, my other snake tank. Where is she? Where is she? Come on, Penelope. Come on, Penelope. You know you want to be seen. Her tank is also really gross. There she is. Yeah, I know. I'll come clean that